Some of the most jacked dudes I ever met built their builds in the prison system using those prison partial reps. And in today's episode, I'm going to be going over all of the prison partial reps and giving you guys a full breakdown on why it is that I believe they are so effective and how it is that you can use them to get the most actually out of them. Because there really is a secret to the sauce with those, and if you are not doing it correctly, you're really not going to be getting the maximum benefits you could possibly get out of them. And if you're not trying to get the maximum benefits you can get out of them, what are you doing? So, we're going to get into it. There are two reasons why those prison partial are so effective. Number one is because of time under tension. And number two is because of those forced max out reps. That's right. If you were just walking up, doing 10 partial reps, and then walking off, you are really not getting anything out of that. Unless you're like moving at a quick pace from thing to thing to thing to thing, you're not getting it. You've got to, when it comes to the prison partial reps, use them as forced reps. You've got to be going to the absolute max you could possibly get to and pump, 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 pump until you can't pump anymore when you're doing those half reps. That's really the only way to get any results with those prison partials. All right, so I'm going to loop this thing back to time under tension. The whole key here is time under tension. So you want to go for maximum reps, which is going to be your time, and then your tension is you're keeping it in that middle ground of the partial rep. So for instance, if you're doing the push-ups, if you're all the way at the top, there's rest. If you're all the way at the bottom, there's rest. There's rest. There's rest. So you're in that middle ground of tension. And the time is going to be, you're just going to be pumping these things out. And you got to stay in this middle ground in order to get the maximum benefit out of this. It's got to be max reps, as many as you could possibly get, keeping this time under tension. You gotta push it and push it and push it. Yeah. And that is how you do those prison partial reps. Time under tension is the key. So as you just saw, you have got to be gritty with it. You can't just have the time under tension part without that max out rep part. You've got to have those two things working together where you're going forced reps as far as you can go with it. And that's when you get really the bang for the buck with that time under tension of keeping it in the sweet spot of that muscle rep where you're just hitting the muscle and you're not giving any break time. That's the key. Grit, push it, drive. Pump, 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 pump. Now, my preferred method for using those prison partial reps has always been to go full rep range until I can't get any more, and then break down into the prison partials and then just rep that sweet spot. Now, there's a key here. You can hit different muscle groups by the different area of the rep that you apply that prison partial to. So for instance, if we're working on the chest, if you go and do that partial range at the lower phase of the movement, so when you're closer to the bottom, then you will be hitting more of the chest. If you want to put more emphasis on your triceps, the top half is where you're going to want to sit there and put that pump at the end of your full range if you're doing it that way. So it would be, you're starting to fatigue from the full range, you're about to start pumping, you start pumping the half top range if you want to focus on the triceps. If you want to focus on the bottom, you pump on the bottom half. If you want to kind of get like a blend in the middle, you pump the middle range. So there's you'll find the different ranges and you'll figure out the different ranges as you continue to use this method. But prison partial reps, especially when you have either body weight or minimal weight that you can use, fantastic. magnificent, truly time-tested in the prison systems when it comes to getting results. Now, you can call it cheat sets, cheating, cheat reps, whatever you want, but the fact of the matter is, it gets results. Truth doesn't lie. The proof is in the pudding. I like pudding. Now, there's no denying that the dudes in the prison systems get amazing results. And they're doing it with garbage food, crappy sleep, no supplements, and really no weight. I mean, we're throwing together water bags, gravel bags, sand bags. We're using sheets, but no real let's load it up to 400 pounds and get it. And we're also, squatting people and doing stuff like that. But still, none of it is as simple and easy as if you've got access to free weights like you do out here. So really out here, there's no excuses because you can do these same things with the weights and just get amazing results. So your key takeaways is this: take every set you possibly do to a complete, total, and utter failure when you're using these prison partial reps. Then really it's just rinse and repeat. And like I said, you also want to focus on what area of that exercise that you are applying that prison partial to, because different areas of the rep range will get different results. As another example, with dips. With dips, if you're doing the top half of the dip as the partial, that's going to put more on the tries. If you go and you do the bottom half of the dip where you're all the way down in it as the partial, that's going to get more of the chest. You're going to have a fantastic, amazing chest stretch with that. So again, you'll figure it out as you do them, but know that you could also apply those partial rep ranges to different areas to focus on certain specific muscle groups or areas of the muscle that you're wanting to work on. And for a different style of prison workout, you can check out the link. It's going to take you to a video that is Vinny from the Feds prison style workout. Super highly effective, absolutely not the partial reps, but another prison highly effective workout method in its own. And with that said, peace, love, joy, prosperity, and all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next one.